Hi, welcome to our webinar on revitalizing your database, as I like to call it, the gold mine in your business. It's a great way to maximize lead generation. We want to get into this. I'm Pam Mashburn. I'm the owner of Explore HVAC and Home Services Marketing. We're glad you're here, and I wanted you to meet our team. They're super cute. Oops, wait, if you could see them, there they are. And we've also added a couple of men to this picture, so we need to get an updated picture. But we are an Inc. 5000 fastest growing company and also a Google partner. So here's the agenda. This is the things that I'd like to talk about today. What's the power of database reactivation? How to get your database ready? How to nurture your clients through a regular cadence? And then planning your cadence and getting the gold, hence the gold mine. We have several different growth programs that we take people through, and this is really in the traction. Because if you're just starting out as a business, you may not have a large enough database to reactivate. So we have some programs if you're not quite there yet to get you to that point to have a large database, a large maintenance program so that we can start growing your business and possibly even world domination. So let's just get to the basics. What is database reactivation? So it's taking your database of customers and really turning them into loyal, raving fans so that when they need some help and they have that oh crap moment, something's gone wrong, they immediately think of you. Or if they don't immediately think of you, when you pull up on Google or you pull up in their search, they go, oh, yeah, I know these guys. So we want to make sure that we're reactivating your database. Some of the quickest wins that you can get is with those, what I call dormant clients. This is the fastest way to increase your business. And it's also a lot less expensive than new customer acquisition. So I've heard, most people are spending between $75 to $400 on new customer acquisition. So if you've already got a customer and you just need to remind them, this is a great way to do it. So we're going to take you through a case study of one of my clients where their lead costs went down. We generated $38,000 in one email offer, and their maintenance members grew at twice the rate. So what's the goal? Always, what we say at Explore HVAC, always the goal, be known before needed. You've got to gain those maintenance plan members. You've got to have that loyal fan. And a great measure of that is that maintenance plan. You want to get referrals. And like I said before, world domination is always the goal. So you've got the database. Now what? So there's some pretty simple segmentations that I would do. And in most cases, they call these tags. So you can go through and run a list in your database. Hopefully you have a good CRM system where you can see when the last time that they did a service with you. And so I would group them by 0 to 2 years, 3 to 5 years, and greater than 5 years. Chances are the greater than 5 years may have found another person, but they may not be loyal to them. So we don't want to forget about that. We also want to segment them. If they're already a maintenance member, then we might not want to offer them the same opportunities as we would somebody that's not a maintenance member. A maintenance member may get special membership privileges. Someone that's not, we want to really hammer into them become a maintenance member. And then we also want to know about the aging unit because it's all about installs and it's all about building that pipeline. So next after that, so we probably should have gone through this first, but what's your delivery system? Are you going to use, if you have Service Titan, House Call Pro, any of the on the market ones? We also offer one. It's a smaller, simpler system, less expensive called Connect. And then a lot of people can use MailChimp. So you've got to go into your CRM system and pull names and information and email addresses. If you're not getting people's email addresses, this is big no-no. You've got to get that. So now's the time when you would make your plan. You want to have a regular cadence. We recommend once a month at the very least. And then you can also add in, some special holiday ones, or if you have a special shoulder season type promo, you may want to do it more often. But you're going to want to figure out like what do I want to do in this? Do I want to do an educational piece, which I love because I've told people before, don't try to just make out with your clients and just get them always buying, buying, buying. You really want to make sure that they're opening it up because they always find something interesting in there because they're not always going to be predisposition to buy just because you send them a newsletter. You want to drive your response with some sort of offer, though. So it could be duct cleaning, it could be new thermostats, digital thermostats, it could be your maintenance check, whatever kind of extra offers that you have, air purifiers. These are great things to put in there because, again, they generate revenue and they get you in the home. One thing I really like, and not many people do it, is promoting community events. So this is especially if you are, and most of my clients are, most of them are not going to be owned by a private equity firm. So that's really important that we differentiate you from those folks that are looking at, or perceived as just trying to make money. What we want to do is we are a member of the community. We live here, we spend money here, and we support community events. And if you're involved in any of those community events, even better. Um, Feature your team and the culture that's going on with your team. This is a great way for hiring as well. And then I always say consider adding video to your content and especially adding it to your website because that is going to drive a lot better SEO rankings. Yeah, I always suggest make a 12-month plan. And I know it's going to change. I know it is because we can't predict the weather and you may have got a cold snap earlier or later than expected. But if you have a plan, it's easier to switch. Here's an example of what we've done in the past. Um, so here's a plan over here where we talk about here's some blog posts that we could do. Here's a promo that we might want to do. Here's a maintenance plan promo. We define those out at least quarterly, even if you don't want to do a 12-month. But I love having, if nothing else, you don't have to have everything discounted, but you need to have something that gets people to call. So think about what you would want to do promo wise. Like I want to promote the fact that we have mini splits and how they could use that. So you might want to promote that, but it may also be that once a quarter, I usually say give some sort of dollar value off because that usually gets the phones ringing. Here's a couple of examples. This is one of our clients, and they've got like frozen pipes, no heat. We're here for you. Here's some winter plumbing tips so you can avoid it. Here's another client, Hands Heating and Air, where they did AC tune-up check and then just a checklist to make sure that you're ready. So here's some tips for success. Make sure you personalize the content, use their name in the subject line. That's always great. Use compelling subject lines. Don't use spam. Don't use words like free. Make sure that you tease a little bit of a great offer. But if you put too much spammy words in there, it's going to go to their spam. Provide useful tips and insight. Just like I said before, you need to have clear call to actions. Schedule this, call here. This is the deadline. Keep it short. One thing to remember is that, especially in mobile, Gmail is going to cut that email off if it's too long, and it'll say at the bottom, click here for more. Let's see. Oh, really important. Make sure you check it on your mobile phone to see, because you might have something on here, it looks fine, and on mobile, it's this big. So make sure you're checking your mobile, do some test, send out a few test emails so you can check that. And then we're reading a book here called They Ask You Answer. It's a really good book. And it's basically a technique where you say, what are my customers asking us about? And now let's talk about that. So if they're asking about what does it cost to replace a furnace? Well, here's some rules of thumb. You could do that. Or what if they're asking questions about, well, how do I make sure that my faucet doesn't, whatever. I'm just coming up with stuff. But whatever people are asking about, you want to make sure you put it in there. It might be, how do I program a digital thermostat for when I'm away? Then maybe put some ninja hacks in there. Anything like that is going to get people to open your email, and it's great, great stuff for to feed Google as far as your real estate on your website. Next, you want to measure your performance. So obviously, the number of opens is really important. Not sure if you can see this, but this is one of the folks that we work with. We recorded how many were sent, how many were open. Anything over about an 18% is good. These folks had a 35%. I've had folks at 50 and 60%. Just depends on how loyal your fans are and how good your content is. It tells you how many times it was clicked. In this case, it was only clicked 30 times. It tells you if there were some bounces, so there's some cleanup that we need to do on that. And then people that are unsubscribed. So you don't want to make, you do want to make sure that you don't allow, you set it up so that they're not unsubscribing from other emails that you might send as far as reminders. This needs to be a separate unsubscribe. But you want to check your clicks, your calls, your book jobs. And then what's really important is, did you generate any revenue and did you expect to? So not every email should be generating revenue. Part of this is just staying, it's a touch point with your clients. When I'm looking at this, especially because now that's on this big screen, I'm looking at the opens and I go, man, that's a low click-through rate. So we probably need to do some stuff here to try to get people to click through and find out more information. The bounces, definitely you want to get that cleaned up because those folks are just clogging it up. And especially if you're doing like a MailChimp where you have to pay for a subscription of a number. All right, here's the case study. So we had a client. Now this client has, out. Oh, well, is it on here? They have 6,700 clients that they emailed approximately. And these were folks not on their maintenance plan, because I was going to say they have over 8,000 clients total. But we ran this on a $69 system check to people that were not on the maintenance plan, along with we also did a programmatic email. So let me just take a minute to talk about that. The programmatic email is you set it up just like you would set up display targeting. You basically can say, I want this household income and these zip codes or this city that own a house. And then you can put other targeting elements in there as well. And I own a house that's over 8 years old. So you can put different things in there and then you send the same email to those folks. And then when they start coming to your website, then you can start retargeting them. Big thing is you want them to start acting on this offer. So from this one email, we had 101 bookings. We had 8,000, almost $8,800 in revenue just for the system checks, just for doing the $69. Then what was really great is we had $29,000 in upsells. So this was when they went on site and they said, oh, yeah, this is a problem. You need more Freon, or you need a recharge, or let me quote some different things. So we had 38% service calls that resulted in additional services. The average revenue per upsell was $770. So again, did they make a lot of money off the system checks? They did all right, right? It was shoulder season, the guys weren't busy, but the real money was when they got in the house and found what the issues were. This group didn't do this, but if you have plumbing also associated with it, it's a great time to have your technician say, "Hey, do you have any plumbing things? Because we have plumbing as well. So while I'm out here, do you want me to look at anything and talk to any of my guys?" So make sure that you're utilizing that time well. All right. So your gold mine is right here. You've just got to activate it. Segment your database, design your newsletter, use the same design each time so that people recognize it. Plan your content and your promos. Keep that cadence. I know it can get busy, and that's why you want to do that 12-month planning. You want to know what things are getting done so that you can bulk a lot of that. You could go ahead and have it designed, get it done, but make sure that you have it scheduled to go out. And then by all means, make sure you're measuring and tracking it to see, if I send it out on Tuesdays and Thursdays, am I getting a good response? I have a client in another industry that has to do with children, and she swears that on Sunday night she gets the best engagement because that's when parents are planning activities for their kids. So you got to find your sweet spot, but I would tell you that Thursdays are a really great time for HVAC because people are getting ready to go home for the weekend and they are already thinking about entertaining, getting ready for the holidays, and they just have a little bit more time on their hands than a Monday or Tuesday. So I really recommend a Thursday. that you can play, and maybe your area is going to be a little bit different. So again, we're Explore HVAC and Home Services Marketing. We would love to help you. ExploreHVAC.com. We're on TikTok. We've got a lot of great tips and videos on there, as well as Facebook and Instagram. So if you need any help, give us a call. And if you want to stay in touch, we would love to have you follow. Thank you so much. Have a great day.